Capricorn, welcome into the channel. I hope you're doing well. So this is going to be your reading for the full moon in Leo. So what does that full moon mean? It means having courage, communication, creativity, and unapologetically being yourself. I'm curious to know, what is this full moon doing for your romantic life? What do we have for Capricorn, please? Full moon in Leo. Always take what resonates, throw out what doesn't. If you're finding nothing resonates, check out your other sign placements. We do embody every single sign of the zodiac. I try to remember to tell people that we always have a house with every sign. One more. And I hope you're doing well. Uh-oh. First card down is you, the devil. King of Cups crossing. Four of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. The World. Queen of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. The Emperor. Somebody else had the Emperor in the same spot, I think. Outcome. Four Swords. Interesting. Well, you're currently in the devil energy there. You could currently be in a feeling, or you're working through your shadow self. You could be codependent on somebody. You could just find yourself maybe in a toxic situation. You could be doing something toxic. You take that as it resonates. Crossing you is the King of Cups. It's a feeling of possibly you could have a King of Cups in your life that you might be obsessing over. Okay. Maybe it's a little bit of, maybe you're having trouble getting over somebody that's a King of Cups. So King of Cups is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, could be a water sign. It doesn't have to be, but it does feel like that is a struggle for you, and you being in the current devil energy, your own energy, that is your power card. So you could very well be working, in your shadow side. So Capricorns have a tendency to not give up. So there could be a King of Cups in your life that you're not willing to let go of, give up on, something to that effect, and it's causing a definitely a challenge. So the root of all this is the Four of Wands. Interesting. So the Four of Wands is, stability. It's home, it's reunion, it's a sense of belonging, it's, celebration. It can be, as you see, two people on the card, if you can see, that are very much in love, could be married. So possibly there is a marriage that is in play. Definitely need to clarify that one. Your recent past, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like in the recent past, whatever efforts you put into a King of Cups, whether this is a relationship or some sort of commitment, simply somebody you're living with, something along those lines. You, I think, always felt very successful. You may have felt very independent, but also whatever efforts you put in were always successful. So whatever you put in to this relationship, this King of Cups, in the recent past, everything that you did to maybe stick around or keep them around or keep them in your life, everything you did always worked. It was no problem, because Capricorn, you do not give up. That is, one of your powers. And it's also, a shadow, right? It's knowing how much effort to put in and then knowing when to back off. And it looks like, in the past, your efforts were pretty easy to be able to balance with a King of Cups, but now it's maybe there's some struggle. Okay, your higher self here, you got the Ace of Pentacles. So it's almost as if, your higher self is telling you that, or yeah, your higher self. It's subconsciously, your mind's telling you like the security and the stability. So it's like your subconscious mind saying you like the security and stability of this King of Cups. And that's why maybe it's a struggle to let it go, not be so obsessed with them. Okay. In the near future, you've got the World. So you're going to realize in the near future coming up, if you haven't already, the cycle with this King of Cups is closed. Okay, it's completed. It doesn't feel like there's any other way of getting back into this King of Cups world. So again, I don't know what this relationship is to you. Only you will know. But it does look like it is a cycle that is cycling out. And that is something, you're going to need to deal with because, your higher self is like, well, this is abundance to me. This is, I want a new opportunity to be back in this person's life. I feel very secure. They make me feel stable. But there's something here where the struggle is, and I don't quite know. But your current thoughts and feelings on this is the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel there's something financial, right? Because your higher self is the Ace of Pentacles, right? So we're talking pentacles, so we're talking financials, right? Tangibles, real world life things we can touch, right? Material. And here it's like you, in your mind, feel this is somebody that it's like a good business sense for you, right? It's, that this person is generous, right? So a King of Cups, can be very balanced, right? They're very wise with their emotions, right? So they could be very highly intuitive, making very good business decisions, and you want to remain in their life because of the prosperity, the security, and the stability, and you feel, okay, they make good business decisions. And that's why, for you, it feels good. So the outside thoughts and feelings, we have the Six of Pentacles. So it almost gives me a feeling of the outside influence of this situation is either this person is trying to balance with other people. Six of Pentacles is the generosity of the give and take. And very supportive. So they may not feel what they're getting from you out of this situation is not fair. Okay? Your hopes and fears is the Emperor. So you hope for this person, it could be a divine masculine. It doesn't have to be. The Emperor can also be a feminine. But I think you're afraid that they're going to control and hold themselves back from being in your life. But at the same time, you hope for them to, because the Emperor can also be a business owner, can be a boss. But you're also hoping that they stick around to help you possibly with a business. The outcome is the Four of Swords. So this is going to be eventually, like I said, with the world, this cycle completing. You're not ready to see it yet, but as the full moon hits, you're going to start to see that there needs to be a separation, there needs to be a break, and then I think you're going to realize you may have been holding on too tight, maybe for the wrong reasons. So let's get more on this King of Cups. Tell me about this King of Cups. Nine of Cups. Queen of Cups. King of Swords. So this feels like they know in their mind what makes, it's like they have a wish, they have a other wish fulfillment. Okay? They know this clear as day in their mind that they have a Queen of Cups. Okay? That's a match to the King of Cups. So they're matching with somebody else, and their higher self is telling them this, right? It's a wish fulfillment of theirs to be connected to a Queen of Cups, which matches them emotionally, right? I don't know if this is just, financial for you, but it's not for them. That's kind of where I think why you feel you need to hold on so tightly. But this is, a sharp, clear mind of, masculine energy, okay? Knowing for sure, sharply, where their wish fulfillment is. And it is a Queen of Cups. Okay, so they feel more matched to somebody else. Okay, so tell me about the Four of Wands. Justice. There's the Six of Pentacles. There's the Two of Swords. So this you take this as it resonates. You could be a cross watcher. I don't know. It feels like with the Four of Wands, like I said, that can be, a marriage. But it feels very much with the Two of Swords. You don't want to see that pushing on this King of Cups is you're not being fair with the Six of Cups. It's almost, you see how she's looking up at him, almost begging for charity. It's somebody here, I don't know if that's you, because there's a lot of parties in here, so you take this as it resonates, but it does feel like somebody is, begging somebody with the devil. It feels like it's you, because that's your immediate card that came out, that you don't want to see that you're finding yourself pushing for help when and there's the outside influence again with the Six of Pentacles. It feels like I said that they want to harmonize and balance and provide their support to somebody else and not necessarily you. Tough reading. And justice is coming into play. This is, karma coming into play. So I don't know if you're stepping outside of a relationship, putting too much of your attention on a King of Cups just because you feel they can help you financially, and you're not seeing kind of what you're doing in your own situation. Regardless, this King of Cups has wants to balance with a Queen of Cups. So tell me about this world. Yeah, the Four of Cups. Nine of Wands. Yeah, see, the Nine of Wands is the guy that doesn't give up, but you're, the Four of Cups is, you're not giving up on connecting with the King of Cups. You keep coming at it the same way, but at the same time, you see this guy here, he's not looking at that cup. I feel like that's you trying to reach out to this person, but they're not focused on you. They're focused on, like I said, with the outside influences, they're focusing their time and energy on balancing with other people. But here you can see there's a feminine energy looking up at a man, kind of like, hey, help me, help me, help me. And you're not seeing that you're not giving up. In Capricorn, this is closing, right? This is something you need to see where it's, you know what? If it's not working, so be it. Let it go. Let it go. Tell me about the Emperor. The Five of Swords. Page of Swords. There's the Nine of Pentacles. You mentally struggle, okay? You're constantly watching this person. You're afraid they're going to go off with, you know, again, your recent past, you were Nine of Pentacles, you know, wanting to be successful. And you struggle in your mind seeing them, you know, the Page of Pentacles can be new contracts, right? Can be about spying. I feel like maybe you're watching this person go off independently on their own, right? Where in the past you were independent, now they're independent in the Emperor energy, possibly going off and starting new contracts on their own, not, you know, dealing with any contracts with you, even though you're still pushing, or you take this as it resonates. You can flip this. There's a lot of, you know, energy in here. But it's like you're watching them and you're fighting internally with yourself, with the fears of they're going to go off and, you know, start new contracts off on their own without you. And it looks like you really want to hold them back for your stability of, you know, your business, your good business sense. What's the Four of Swords and the outcome? Yeah, the Lovers. Yeah, Six of Swords and the Lovers. Go ahead and get one more. Yeah, the Star. So look, yeah, in the future, you know, this person's moving on, okay? Look, they're transitioning, moving on. They want to heal, and they want to be with a lover. So again, like I'd said, when we clarified their wish fulfillment, they knew was to be connected to a Queen of Cups. That is, you know, emotion, right? They would rather, they don't want to deal with somebody where it's just business and financials and material world. They want to be in love. I'm not saying that they won't have any other type of financial business adventures, but their main concern is healing with a lover. They want to transition on out of this situation. Okay? So it's going to cause a break in this relationship, even though you're trying really hard to hold on to it. Okay, they're going to be moving on. What else do we have real quick here? You know, in the past, you were, I mean, Nine of Pentacles, you're doing all right on your own. You know, I know you really want your efforts to be successful, but the Nine of Pentacles, you are perfectly capable of doing things on your own like you're worried about them doing. I think you can do it, Capricorn. You can put your mind into anything. I mean, you are the business of the zodiac. What else do we need to know? I don't think you really need this person like you think. Yeah, heartbreak. Roll the dice. Yeah, signs and synchronicities. you know, you were not paying attention to the signs because you were working from a shadow side of holding on, right? You kept taking a risk of being the Nine of Wands, approaching this person in the same manner, kept, pushing, being in the devil energy. But that was a risk on your part that you took. And you're finding yourself where you're gonna feel a heartbreak because it's like you're losing a connection that helped you, that shared resources with you, but they want to move on and share their resources with a Queen of Cups, somebody they feel is their wish fulfillment, because it's the emotional, give and take, the feeling. It's not just about the pentacle, the business relationship, right? And you were missing the signs, so you kept taking the risk of not giving up and pushing, being in devil energy, and that's how you're ending up in heartbreak. Let's get an angel number for you. Tough read, but I mean, we all get them. And you're not the only one that is getting a tough read. There's a few of them. Yeah, abundance, 888. Financial abundance and success are on the horizon. Stay focused and disciplined. That's you. You can stay focused and you can stay disciplined. You don't need to depend on a King of Cups. A King of Cups. Whether that's, a water sign or somebody, you feel very comfortable with when it comes to business opportunities or collaborations, whatever that is. You don't forget, in the past, you were Nine of Cups yourself. You're worried about them going off and being alone and doing their own thing. But in the past, you were already a Nine of Pentacles. And Capricorn, that's you. So if you keep on the track and not worrying about somebody else being part of your contracts or your collaborations, I just did a short for, now that Aries is in Neptune. And Capricorn, you might want to check that short out. It was you getting a plan together and moving out on that plan. So that could very well be for you, that short. You might want to check it out. It's like a 3-minute short, but basically you're Capricorn. You can put a plan together and you can move out on it. I think you're putting your energy into a person to help you that you feel comfortable with, that, it's almost as if you're losing yourself thinking you need somebody else, and you really don't, because Capricorn, you are hardworking, you are productive, you're ambitious, you're responsible. You know what I mean? And you're laser focused. All you need to do is put all that energy back into yourself, the Nine of Pentacles, and you can do whatever it is you want to do on your own. You don't need this person. This person has a wish fulfillment that they want to fall in love with a Queen of Cups, right? That's their focus. That's their wish fulfillment. And don't worry about, what it is they're doing in the future. Put that energy back into you. All right. So Capricorn, I know it was a little bit tough, but not really, because you are self-sufficient. You just think you need this person to be self-sufficient when it comes to, collaborations and contracts and business and financials. You don't need it. You're perfectly fine on your own. And I think you're going to need to realize during this full moon to take the courage to continue to move out on your own and not worry about somebody else being there to help you or hold your hand through it, because you don't need it. All right? So much love and light, and always working through your shadow. I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you soon.